I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 9th, 2016. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posted a video in English on his Facebook page today about claims that the Jewish settlements in the West Bank are an obstacle to peace. The Prime Minister rejected that notion and also slammed the Palestinian leadership for their preconditions for a Palestinian state.
The Palestinian leadership actually demands a Palestinian state with one precondition: no Jews. There's a phrase for that. It's called ethnic cleansing. Since when is bigotry a foundation for peace?
A special conference was held in Congress yesterday on the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, which seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. Speakers included Congressman Doug Lamborn, who also sponsored the event. He said, "I have wanted to believe that the tragic history of anti-Semitism had finally ended with the Shoah," referring to the Holocaust. But unfortunately, he said, anti-Semitism still exists, and it is now rearing its ugly head in the form of BDS. A delegation was also sent to the conference from Israel from the Samaria Regional Council in the West Bank. Council leader Yossi Dagan told the gathering that the West Bank was a place where both Israelis and Palestinians work together. He said the goal of BDS is to sabotage the only real example of peaceful coexistence in the Middle East. Several Jewish organizations attended the Forum on Global Anti-Semitism held Wednesday at the United Nations in New York. As we reported to you yesterday, the forum was addressed by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and the Israeli and American ambassadors to the UN. Remarks were also presented by B'nai B'rith International, whose Director of UN and Intercommunal Affairs, David Michaels, spoke of the, quote, so-called new anti-Semitism in which the world's only Jewish democratic state and all those seen as tied to it are demonized or mistreated in exceptional ways. Michaels also addressed the bias against Israel at the UN itself, something he said lends moral fuel to efforts that promote the harming of the Jewish state. Jewish diplomat Oleg Ivanov, a member of the World Jewish Congress's Jewish Diplomatic Corps, spoke of the efforts of the BDS campaign, which he said has appropriated traditional anti-Semitic stereotypes and assigned them to the nation of Israel. And in London, diplomats from over 40 countries gathered yesterday at a special seminar hosted jointly by the Board of Deputies of British Jews and the American Jewish Committee Europe. In attendance were diplomats including experts from the UK, as well as from France, Germany, Belgium, and Israel, who led panels on anti-Semitism, security issues, memorializing the Holocaust, and the situation in the Middle East. An American delegation of police officers arrived in Israel this week for counter-terrorism training and to mark the 15th anniversary of September 11th. 52 officers from New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Colorado, California, and Nevada arrived in Israel on Wednesday for a week-long training session, coordinated by Commander Diane Eldad Shitrit, who heads the International Cooperation Department of the Israeli National Police. The American officers will take part in various counterterrorism exercises. They will also mark the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks at the 9/11 Memorial in Jerusalem on Sunday. The U.S. delegation is being led by the chief of the Essex County's Sheriff's Office Deputy Division, Michael Safras, who also coordinated a motorcycle ride through the Negev with Israeli police to honor their sacrifices and build relationships between the American and Israeli officers. And we will have special programming in honor of the anniversary of 9/11 here on JBS this Sunday. You can find all the details on our website, jbstv.org. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, September the 9th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed at 7:30 by a klezmer concert with saxophone player David Krakauer. At 8, chair of the Yitzhak Rabin Center, Dahlia Rabin, and Aaron David Miller of the Woodrow Wilson Center talk about U.S.-Israel relations with journalist Ethan Bronner. At 9, a documentary on Israel and the triumph of the human spirit, and at 10, on New Jewish Cinema, director Eva Zelig talks about her documentary, An Unknown Country. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 9th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.